And woke nonsense is exactly what we're going to start with tonight, with a bit of what the heck is going on. As Libs of TikTok put it, the left are continuing to euthanise our language, this time in a way that seeks to soften the perception of criminal behaviour. Democrats in Illinois have introduced a bill, HB 4409, which changes the word offenders to, and wait for it, justice-impacted individuals. Now, justice-impacted individuals, it sounds a little bit odd. You can see there on the screen where they've crossed out the word offenders and then put in their new, obviously less offensive word. I guess this is a natural step forward for a left-wing political movement that deifies criminals and reinvents them as leaders of social justice. Instead of finding better spiritual leaders, they simply erase the word offender from language. The same thing happened when pedophiles were rebranded as MAPs, or minor attracted persons, to lessen their disgusting crimes against children and begin the process of normalising the sexual abuse of children as another valid sexuality. Now, in the world of AI, and honestly, I'm not convinced this story is real. It could be satire, but bear with me. A tech company has decided to call its AI phone service Bland AI. I mean, can we all agree that artificial intelligence lacks a personality? But it seems a bit cruel to christen it bland.
Hey, this is Bland AI. I'm an AI agent that makes millions of phone calls for businesses and in any voice. What's your name?
My name's Mike. What's your name?
Nice to meet you, Mike. I'm Bland. I guess you're calling since you saw our billboard, right?
Yeah, I am.
If you thought dealing with call centre staff in other countries who can barely speak the language and have no idea what product they're trying to deal with is annoying, now you can be bored senseless by AI call centre staff who are indifferent to your problems and never go off script. Now, it was interesting that Bland introduced itself by saying it could mimic any voice. Hollywood actress Scarlett Johansson declined an invitation from OpenAI to use her voice for the current version of ChatGPT. She wrote in an open letter and posted online, and I quote, "He told me that he felt that by my voicing the system, I could bridge the gap between tech companies and creatives and help consumers to feel comfortable with the seismic shift concerning humans and AI. He said he felt that my voice would be comforting to people," end quote. So a bit like the sirens of Greek mythology beckoning sailors toward the rocks with their sweet songs and beautiful faces. Scarlett Johansson then accused the company of mimicking her voice for its new software platform, something she found deeply concerning in an age of deep fakes. OpenAI disputed her claims, saying the voice belongs to a different professional actress. But with computers mimicking human voices, the whole thing raises the question of whether or not we own copyright to our voice. But moving on, the stories coming out of the UK keep on getting worse, especially when it comes to the advances of diversity and inclusion as a social project. Now, I wonder what progressive UK feminists have to say about integrating and accepting this particular type of cultural conversation from a Birmingham cleric.
Her that she is punished and she is stoned to death. And according to the Sharia again, when it comes to women, there must be a hole dug in the earth, in the ground, and she must be covered up to the half of the body, so that her satar does not appear.
I mean, is this really the progressive utopia that you were promised? And finally, Bill Gates has decided to race back into the headlines, this time for the production of a new vaccine that would stop cows from, and there's not really any polite way of saying this, farting. Yes, to save the planet, we are now expected to vaccinate our cows against flatulence. The project is raising $26.5 million for the Boston developer. Now, I don't know about you, but I am tired of big pharma and big chemical companies meddling in the food chain. We have been changing things so quickly without taking a moment to reflect on what the negative consequences might be. Fortunes are being made under the banner of climate change, but at the end of the day, all we are really doing is dragging ourselves further and further away from nature. It is the industrialization of nature, the rejection of the natural order, operating under the delusion that the planet needs to interfere to prevent an apocalypse. At some point, we need to wake up and realise that none of this is about the environment. It is about business. Really, really, really big business.